Good morning. Glad to be with you today. An encouraging word for you today as you're on your journey and starting your day. It's from the Old Testament in a story of when Solomon built the temple. And before he's finished with the temple, he's praying to God and he's telling God, hey, look, I know that our people are going to fail at times and they're going to sin and they're going to fall and they're going to make mistakes. And he keeps asking the Lord, when this happens, when we make mistakes, will you hear us? Will you hear us from heaven? Will you answer our prayers? Can we rely on you? And here's something that's pretty amazing, that as he prays and as he's asking God again and again, will you hear us? Will you respond to us? The Lord comes and he answers Solomon's prayer. Before I get to what he tells Solomon, I want to just put this into our own everyday life. And many of you, as you're driving along the roads and maybe even as you're traveling for Thanksgiving, you're using your GPS. And I love GPSs because they help you get to the destination quicker and faster. They can even tell you if there's traffic up ahead. And so I love that there is a system that helps me get to my destination. And I'm really good at getting lost. I'm good at making wrong turns. And the beautiful thing about the GPS is that when you make a wrong turn, it starts to recalculate and it starts to tell you, hey, you need to turn around here. You need to make a U-turn to get back on track. Well, God has a GPS system of his own, and it's his spirit, and he's always calling us back to himself. And so the question is, have you ever gone too far from God? Some of us might think that, oh, well, I can never get back to the place that I once was with God where I was really close. Or maybe you have a family member or a friend who you think, man, I would really love them to be walking with the Lord, but they're not walking with the Lord now. And your confidence level in their ability to come to the Lord is decreasing because you see the path that they're on. Well, it's similar to Solomon's prayer. He's like crying out to God, look, we built this beautiful temple. It's a glorious day. We're celebrating. But when we fall, and he's like, when? It's not if, but when we fall, will you answer from heaven? Will you come and be with us? Will you forgive us and will you heal us? And the Lord appears to Solomon and he says, I've heard your prayer and have chosen this place for myself as a house of sacrifice. When I shut up heaven and there is no rain, or command the locusts to devour the land, or send pestilence among the people, he says in verse 14, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and heal their land. Here's the amazing news. You can never outrun God. You can never go too far. He is only a prayer away. And for the person who humbles himself and prays to God, God says, I'm going to hear your prayer. If you just call on my name, if you just humble yourself and pray, I'm always there. The psalmist said, where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to heaven, you're there. If I go into even hell, you're there. If I go to the left, if I go to the east, to the right, you're there. The Lord is there. He's only a prayer away. You cannot run too far from the Lord. He is right there. So just humble yourself and call out to God, no matter where you are, no matter how far you are from him. Or if you have people who you love, who you want to be following the Lord, remember, they've never gone too far. God has an ultimate GPS system. He knows how to turn people around and bring them back to himself. And that's his ultimate will, to bring people to himself, to his love, to his grace. Have a wonderful day. Thanksgiving's coming up. Enjoy this day. Be thankful for what the Lord has given. And remember that he is just one prayer away today. God bless.